We greet each other in the hallway at work going, Bobert, Bobert. Hey, Maniac.
Hey, Mystery Maniacs. Mystery Maniacs is a comedy recap podcast dedicated to mystery TV. Each week, we dig into an episode of a show including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. This week,
Bride Not to Be, Brokenwood, Season 5, Episode 2.
I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah. Oh, boy. I feel a lot better.
We couldn't have felt much worse. So,
whatever you do, don't get the norovirus. It's 24 hours of hell followed by a week of purgatory.
I'm assuming we had neurovirus and stomach flu at the same time.
At the same time.
And it affected Sarah and I. This is why we didn't have an episode last week. It affected Sarah and I within minutes of each other.
So we go to bed on a Wednesday night. Happy as clams. Fall asleep, no problem. At midnight, I'm feeling nauseous, so I get up. And while I'm being sick, I hear Mark run past the master bathroom into the hall bathroom and get sick.
Dun, 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 dun.
So we're both sitting in the floor of our bathrooms, a hall and a bend away from each other, every hour, on the hour, all night long.
Yeah, we didn't sleep that night at all.
Oh, my gosh. One of our kids, our kids don't drive. Don't ask me why, but walked to Kroger for us and brought us back like grown-up Pedialyte and saved our lives.
Oh, my God.
We were going to die.
We're not well. And then it came back at me.
Yeah.
It had a second round.
If we hadn't both been sick at the end of the first 24 hours, I was going to say, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I need an IV. But the thought of both of us being in the waiting room at the local hospital for hours, being sick, like they wouldn't know which one of us to treat. You know, they would have had to take us both.
It was not good.
It was bad.
So
wash your hands up to your elbows. Don't trust anybody else to have done it. You know.
Yeah.
I washed because I work in a building with a ton of students in it.
Yep.
And I see them rush out of the bathroom without washing their hands. So I don't trust anybody to have washed their hands. And I scrub mine like 9 times a day.
And I'm going to have to say, roast chicken is off the menu for
we're
a
never
while.
eating that again. And speaking of sickness, while we're on the topic, thank you so much to everybody who sent such nice messages.
I couldn't believe all the messages we got on social media telling us, A, it was okay to postpone an episode, and B, to get well.
When I wasn't sure if I was going to live or if I wanted to, it was really nice to see that other people were cheering us on. Because I certainly didn't feel like I was ever going to get better. It was nice to know other people thought we would.
And I read out all the messages to Sarah.
Yeah, while we were sitting on the couch going, oh.
Well, we're all better now.
So thank you for all the kind messages. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
But we're better now.
Yes.
We've recovered completely.
Oh, boy, did we get an email. It was like from the past.
Yeah.
We got an email from Mark.
Every once in a while, because of the topic of the podcast, because we talk about mysteries, and people who like mysteries don't just like mystery shows, they like mysteries in general, and they're the kind of people who, when they need to know something, can't leave it alone. And that's the kind of people that listen to us, and that's the kind of people we are too.
And we ask questions, and then just la-di-da.
We just hope maybe somebody figures it out and lets us know, and if they do, great, and if they don't. But seldomly do we get an answer to a question that was, 200 episodes ago?
Almost 200 episodes ago.
Which is awesome. We got one this week.
We mentioned a poster in episode 73. So this is the Lady Felicia screaming into the night episode.
Midsummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a poster in the cop shop that was some kind of road crossing poster.
Yes.
And I think there was a kid like face down in the road or something.
Multiple kids in different positions. The same kid in multiple positions.
But we couldn't read the text on it.
No.
And we said, hey, if anybody's familiar with it, let us know what it says. Mark found out.
Yes. So Mark found the campaign an article about the campaign in the BBC News, and it was for young pedestrian safety. So you think the posters they say 55 teenagers a week wish they'd given the road their full attention.
Yeah.
Because they're doing something.
I guess 55 kids get hit by cars.
I guess so.
Trying to cross the road.
But his last line of his email is chef's kiss. The last line of his email, does spending 45 minutes on this project during the working day qualify me as a mystery maniac?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Gold
Mark.
star mystery maniac.
Gold star.
You go. That's it. Just awesome. And when I do something like that, go deep, deep, deep down a pointless, fruitless rabbit hole that is for no real purpose other than I need to know. The satisfaction when you find the answer is so sweet. So I hope Mark enjoyed finding that answer, and we really appreciate you doing that.
Episode number 73, The Great and the Good, Justin's Big Yellow Shy and
Nervous Balls
was released February 1st, 2021.
Wow.
4 years ago.
I love that.
And
Thank you.
That would have been our second February.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But I'm doing that right now to a podcast I'm listening to.
Yeah.
This history podcast I really like. I mean, history doesn't change. So every time I open up iTunes, I'm like, scroll, down, trying to get to the bottom of the list. Because you can't just sort it by oldest first, because it's stupid. Like, scroll, See, all the way down to the bottom.
Like, the rest is history. I search by topic.
Yeah.
I put the topic in. They don't have one about Gutenberg. I don't like that. They need a printing press episode.
Speaking of funny podcasts, so one of the things I did when I was recovering from the sickness was listen to a bunch of BBC podcasts that I hadn't caught up on. And one of them is a true crime podcast. It doesn't really matter what the case was. What's important was that they were talking about the British detective who was working the case in the 1870s or something, whose first name was Bobert.
Bobert.
And I'm now obsessed with Bobert.
She says it quite often.
So much so that one of the kids and I regularly go on these Bobert riffs where we go, my name is Bobert. Hello, I am Bobert. And we say it to each other, and it's driving Mark and Xander crazy.
It is indeed.
And now I've infected my whole team at work because I told them about it, and they think it's fun to say too, Bobert. And so now we greet each other in the hallway at work going, Bobert, Bobert.
And now we have the beginning of the episode noise.
No, I want to infect all of the maniacs with Bobert. So they're all around the world saying Bobert to people.
Also, a number of fans thankfully reached out to me mentioning how pleased they were that a certain team beat another certain team in a certain ice-based sport.
We beat you.
No, we beat you.
Who's we?
Canada won against the United States. Sarah will tell you. It's not that I lacked faith in the Canadian team. They were incredibly well matched. That was one of the best games of hockey I ever watched.
The best meme I've seen of it is the Monty Python fish slapping meme, where they're both standing on the side of the weir, and the one guy prances over and slaps the other guy on the face with a little fish repeatedly, and then the second guy gets out this gigantic fish and just whacks the other guy into the water, and it's Canada and America, like the Americans came up and slapped the Canadians with the little fish, and the Canadians just went thwack.
I was pleased we'd won, but if we didn't win, it was overtime. It was
just a good game.
Like, they
Didn't
kept
matter.
doing the stats of the period breaks, and they were exactly the same on both sides. Like, it was a fine game of hockey.
It was fun. Are you ready to talk about Bride Not to Be?
I am. 4th of November, 2018 is when this was released.
God, so long ago.
Directed by Katie Wolf. Now, Katie Wolf is a name that we should remember because She's actually an actress that appeared in an earlier episode. She was in the Spider Widows episode. She was the woman who ran the horse farm.
Oh.
And
cool.
she's a Maori woman whose dad was a sports personality, and whose mom was Maori. And she went to acting school and directing school and is directing this episode. I think it's fantastic.
It's a good episode. I like it.
Written by Pippa Hall and Tim Baum.
This is not the first episode of a show that we've covered where a bride dies either on her wedding day or in her wedding dress.
This is also not the first episode of a hen party that we've seen, or not the first tennis episode, or not the first tennis ball shooting machine episode.
It is a little on the nose that her name is Ophelia and she dies in the water, face up, floating, and her fiance's last name is Hammett.
They're
I mean, it's kind of bing, bing, bing. We get the reference, okay? We get it.
But I think they do it in an interesting way in that it's not like, oh, okay, like Hamlet is indecisive and his father is married to his uncle's married to his mother.
They don't take it that far.
They don't
but
take it.
It's a little wink and a nod.
This boat that
You mean Captain James Cook's boat?
Yes. Is a little too close to the shore and too big.
You're just jealous of his boat.
I like boats. I wish I had a boat for about an afternoon a year.
Yeah.
And then I don't wish I had a boat anymore.
He's enjoying himself, though.
There's a guy who has like a cigarette boat down the street from us. I want to borrow his boat. I want to just drive it around for a few hours.
Is it a cigarette boat or a cigar boat? Aren't they called cigar boats?
Cigar boats.
Because they're shaped like a cigar.
I just want to borrow his boat and drive around
And
for a
then
while,
give it back and not be
then
responsible
give it
for the maintenance or anything.
Not any of that stuff.
Well, Captain Cook's doing the king of the world thing out
Yeah.
on the prow with his coffee.
He is, and he runs across Ophelia.
He throws a lifesaver at her and she doesn't do anything. She's not gonna.
And at first I was like, he can't run that boat by himself, but he calls back to somebody to stop the boat. So
Well, yeah, he's not driving it with his mind.
who knows with New Zealand people?
I don't want to stay at this hotel, this Tidal View Tower.
Yes.
First of all, Tidal View Tower is a horrible name.
Yes.
It's the TVT run by Marcus, who's
No.
horrible.
Not run by Marcus. Solely run by Marcus.
Yeah.
He has no other employees. It's an estate.
Like just cleaning the rooms would
Yeah.
and he's got a bar that he's running. He says he's got another event booked and he's got caterers and stuff coming in. So clearly he gets outside help. Maybe he's got a cleaner who just comes in the afternoon and cleans the rooms or something.
My sister ran an inn for, I think, 15 years. And it took her and her husband and her entire family constant work.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why Marcus is going out of business.
Yeah.
That and he's a lying jerk.
I don't like him. Well, I don't like
There's very few likable characters in this. Ophelia, the victim, is really unlikable.
Oh, she is
I don't know
horrible.
how she has any friends.
Yeah.
She's a professional tennis player who's returned to Brokenwood because her dad has passed away and she's taking care of his estate. But when she was there as a kid, she was clearly a bullying jerk.
And just happens to fall in love with this guy and get married. Like, it seems reboundy. And you usually don't rebound after your dad dies.
Yeah. Well,
Though-
they explain that. Her dad was her fixer.
Yeah.
And she needs a man to take care of stuff.
Death of a parent affects you in different ways.
Well, especially if you're a jerk to begin with.
At the scene of the crime, Mike is cagey about what he's doing.
What he was interrupted
Yes.
doing on Sunday morning.
Yes.
We find out later he was line dancing.
He says he was line dancing. I think he was at rodeo clown school.
Wild West Reenactment Club. Something with his boots.
He would do the Wild West reenactment.
I think he
club.
would too.
I think he would.
I think he'd be Sheriff
Sheriff Mike
Shepherd.
Yep.
Sheriff Shepherd. This town ain't big enough for both of
I think
us.
he would love that and get into it. I don't think line dancers get okay, line dancing is a late night activity at bars on the weekends. Mm-hmm. So why are you doing it Sunday morning?
Maybe he goes to line dancing church.
Maybe.
That's a different kind of church.
Yeehaw! Welcome to Line Dancing Church.
We cleared out the pews so we could dance for Jesus in lines.
But it's got to be New Zealand too. We play Eminem too.
We can't do New Zealand accents.
No.
Don't even try.
I love how Bree keeps saying Captain Cook found the body, and Mike's like, what? No.
Yeah. They enjoy that little like name joke, and nobody comments on Ophelia and Hammett.
No. Now, she is a international tennis player. Mm-hmm. If an international tennis player died in this way, even off the circuit, do you not think somebody from the news would show up?
If this was Martina Navratilova or something, or one of the Williams sisters,
Maybe.
You bet the press would be there. And she's obviously very successful at it.
Yes.
And has the personality to boot. So I would think there would be press who would be interested in her.
Also, those people, apart from her father and her boyfriend, have people who work for him.
Oh, yeah. They got
Like
managers
she would have a
and
PA
stuff.
and a manager and stuff like that.
Well, but if she just went home because her dad passed away, maybe she didn't want that stuff around her. You know, I'm just going to go. Leave me alone.
I love how they could find a body that was decapitated and Sims could say, I think the cause of death is decapitation.
And Gina would be like, no,
don't jump to conclusions. It could be drowning.
we don't know yet.
Sims.
If Mike said it was decapitation, Gina would say, you're probably right. She says that the body was garroted.
Yeah.
And Sims is like, you mean like medieval garrotes? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Gina didn't say, well, you know, the KGB used garrotes until like the 1980s or
Yes.
something. So,
Or garter belts. Or later also.
yeah. Was there a Bavarian at the party? Yes. They talk about garrotes. You know what a garrote is?
Yeah, it's like a wire or a string that's on handles that allows you to facilitate the strangulation of an individual.
Quickly wrap it around somebody's throat and use the handles for leverage.
Yeah.
Right? I have several garrotes in the garage.
Yeah, because you use them to cut
To cut clay.
clay.
Yeah. Like every basic clay sculpting kit comes with a garrote.
Yes.
Not that I'm going to use it that way. But,
Well,
you know,
I hope not.
I've got it in case I need it. A strap wrench would probably do it too.
Help me.
But that's not the most common form of garrote.
Oh, okay.
And by common, I mean most widely used to kill people garrote. Because in Spain, for almost 100 years, the official government form of execution was garrote.
Oh,
Did you know that?
no. How did they do that? Was that the strap around them?
From 1828 to 1897, the official form of execution in Spain was garrote. But it was a garroting chair.
Yes. So you sat in the chair and the thing went around your neck.
A strap goes around your neck.
And that shows up in a later episode.
Yes.
Remember?
The garroting chair.
Yes.
But the first record we have of somebody using a garrote is in the 1st century BC in Rome.
Which we know, because we are aware of the timeline of history, is not medieval.
No. They weren't even really all that popular in medieval times except for assassins because it's quiet.
I guess. Yeah.
And they didn't have machine guns, you know.
Yeah.
They were limited on their choices. This is the worst bachelorette party ever. Even before Ophelia dies. The bachelorette is a jerk that nobody really likes. Her maid of honor is pregnant with her fiance's baby.
Nikki's there for some reason.
Nikki, the rich broke girl, is there, as is Frodo's not girlfriend, Kim.
Yes.
And
I'm not his girlfriend.
And then 4 other random ladies who get drunk and leave.
I have in my notes, why is Nikki living with Frodo's not girlfriend?
And apparently the party started by going thrift shopping for ugly dresses.
I guess.
That's what they did first.
And involved actual worm eating?
Tequila worms are stupid.
It's just dumb.
Dumb.
And then the 50-year-old stripper shows up.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, isn't that your dad?
We need a stripper for the party. I know. Let's call our friend's dad. No.
And by friend, I mean the person in high school that we
bullied mercilessly. But can you imagine though? Okay, because you grew up in a small town where everybody knew each other, right?
Yeah.
You go home. Let's say you decided to go home to have your bachelor party.
Okay.
Because you had friends there.
Okay.
I know that's not the case with you, but let's say you did.
Okay.
And the stripper shows up, and it's your elementary school friend's mom.
Oh.
That you remember giving you Kool-Aid and cookies after school, and now she's stripping for the party.
No.
I would be horrified. Like, get out of here.
Never mind the fact that he's a physio on top of it.
Well, you're either a stripper or you work at the tennis club or both.
Or both.
Or maybe you work at a tea shop.
Or
Chantel works at the tea shop.
Interpreter.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's got a job.
Oh, more on the tea shop. I got stuck in a rabbit hole. The rabbit hole I got stuck in is when they show the car license plate real quick. Mm-hmm.
Which car?
The car in the parking lot of the hotel. I forget who owns the car.
Okay.
It has a dealership name around it. And I found the dealership. And then I read this incredibly sad story about the family that ran that dealership losing their franchise after 38 years.
Do we want to know if it's sad?
No.
Okay.
The New Zealand car market was changing, and they were changing with it. But it was weird that
it was a real franchise.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that Kristen knows sign language?
Not really, because you always need a character who knows that. And I know a lot of cops know a little bit of a lot of stuff. Like, I bet you cops in this town know a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of other things.
I bet you none of them knows Braille.
Probably not.
More likely that somebody knows a bit of sign language than that they can read Braille.
Yeah.
So if you want to get away with a crime and you need to leave a note, leave it in Braille.
The ride back to the station with the 3 hungover hens and Mike is the best.
He's driving just knowing that one of them's going to throw
Not
up in
in the
his
car. Not in the car.
Somebody's going to throw up in his car. So Kahu works at the tennis club.
Yes.
Alex works at the tennis club. Alex the stripper. Scotty, the boyfriend, works at the tennis club. Yeah. Does Darren?
Darren doesn't, and Darren's friend works at the hotel. Because remember, he's waiting for him to get off.
Peter?
Yeah.
Peter works at the Tidal View Tower?
Yeah, because remember, they go, the stripper takes him home.
Oh. So it isn't just Marcus who runs it. Marcus and Peter run it.
Yes. There's 2 of them.
I don't know why Peter's in the episode. He doesn't really serve a purpose.
Yeah.
He's purposeless Peter.
I was like, are they gay? And then he's like, oh, I love Zoe. And I'm like, I guess he's not gay.
Well, and Peter's also deaf, right?
Yes.
So it's not like he's helpful in that way, that he's Darren's friend and is fluent in sign language.
I don't know why he's in the episode.
He's purposeless Peter at the Tidal View Tower.
The stag party is at the tennis club, and we hear...
Let's have the party where I work.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Because I'm a weirdo. Even though it looks similar, the tennis club is not the golf course from the previous episode.
No, they do look very similar, from the episode where the lady gets sprayed in the face with the pesticide.
Yes.
They are a similarly kind of like community club.
I may have taken pictures, but yes.
With a bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where we find out the cop stripper also works there.
Right. And that Ophelia was garroted with something that wasn't typical.
Yes.
And Gina thinks it could be braces from Lederhosen.
Or garter belts.
Or
what kind of garter belts are you wearing that you could strangle somebody with? Lederhosen, I understand. They're leather.
They're leather.
Are you wearing leather garter belts?
Well, how big's your thigh? It's going to go around somebody's head? That's a big thigh. Because, there's not a buckle on a garter belt. You have to slide it up your leg. Or unless they meant like garter belt, like the one that goes around your waist and has the straps that go down and click onto your hose.
Maybe.
That maybe, because that's like an elastic with some kind of closure on it.
But that's not the garter belt.
Yeah, it is literally a belt.
Part. Yeah, well,
it goes
the
around,
belt part, yes.
It's a belt. But when we think of garter belt, we think of one of those little ones that slides up your leg.
Yes.
That a bride wears and then jerky husbands put on their rearview mirror. It's gross.
Oh, wait, Sarah, this episode needs a stupid gambling subplot red herring. No, it doesn't.
All I thought is that
Doesn't need that at all.
Gina's like, were there any Bavarians at the party? And I thought, were there any Spanish executioners at the party?
I don't think so.
Somebody had a garrote. Yeah, the gambling thing. The whole, I don't know. Marcus. Bleh,
Marcus
right?
is so bad. This is a collection of unlikable people.
But it's like they don't know that Marcus is an old guy.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to play against like basically the tennis club pro.
Champion?
The pro.
Yeah.
And thinks he's going to beat him. He thinks people are going to believe that Nikki wanted to sleep with him.
Yeah.
No way, nobody's going to believe that.
No.
I mean, he's just, ugh.
This hen party is 4 suspects. Well, sorry, the bride and 3 suspects. 4 non-suspects who left early. Who
Don't even get names.
Who did the right thing leaving early. And 2 middle-aged men, one of which is a stripper. It's a bad hen party.
But you're forgetting, in the background, Purposeless Peter is there too.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Apparently, hanging out.
Well, the boyfriend and his deaf brother don't show up until after the party. So
Not his brother.
Oh, his friend.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Scotty and Darren.
Scotty and Darren aren't really at the party, the hen party.
No, they come over to tell Ophelia that Chantel's pregnant with Scotty's baby. Or
worst hen party ever.
Or so Scotty and Ophelia can make out. I don't know which one or the other.
We're not
sure. Either way, Darren being there, awkward.
Taryn does such a good job at looking awkward.
Yeah.
On the bed.
He's outside, and then he's outside smoking, and he doesn't even look like he smokes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing something
I'm away from all of it.
to be away from that.
But it's not the biggest mystery of the episode. The biggest mystery of the episode, Sarah, is something that you did not notice. I pointed it out to you. You did not notice. At the cop shop, when they're talking about all these things, behind the murder board on another whiteboard is written the following. Please wash and return all mugs. This means you, Nigel.
Dun,
And
dun, dun.
Nigel is underlined. What did Nigel do?
So he either doesn't wash his mugs or he doesn't return his mugs, or both, I guess.
Like that sort of passive aggressiveness is fantastic.
Who do you think wrote it?
I think Sims wrote it.
Well, it's typical passive aggressive workplace note making.
Most definitely.
Like in the kitchen in my office, there are 2 signs. One says, your mother doesn't work here.
Oh.
I don't know who put it up.
Yeah.
And the other one says, sodas are for bridge employees only.
Now
I am a bridge employee.
You worked in this place called the Bridge, which is really the executive suite of the business school.
It's called the Bridge because it goes over the road connecting 2 buildings.
This is the fanciest office in the business school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they have a sign that says, your mother doesn't
Work here. Yeah. Well, it's in the kitchen where, like wealthy donors wouldn't go.
At least it doesn't say, your mother doesn't work here, Sarah.
Yeah.
Underline. If I was Nigel, I might be suggesting this is a hostile workplace. Mm-hmm. But then we see Nigel later on. Nigel arrives with the Thai food. And they go, thank you, Nigel. I'm like, and don't forget to do your chores.
Yes. Dropping off delivery food does not excuse you from washing your mug, Nigel.
But it says wash and return. Did he take some mugs home?
He's a mug smuggler.
Mugs, all these Brokenwood police force mugs at home.
He's got a shrine of them at home.
So,
and they've all got Kristen's lipstick on them. Before that, though, Sims says to Kristen, well, when you work with two sex gods.
Yes.
And Mike makes the Coles to Newcastle comment.
Yes.
And they both go, what? Coal to what?
Yeah.
And he's like, never mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what he means?
He means you can't sell coal to people in Newcastle because that's where all the coal comes from.
Yeah. Like you can't take.
It's ice to the Eskimos.
Right. It's ice to Eskimos, exactly. But there's also this like.
And other incredibly racist things for me to say.
There's also a great Scottish punk band called Coles to Newcastle. And he's always making music references. I thought, is he making a reference to that punk band?
Maybe. I don't think so.
I don't think so. But it would have been funny if he was. But he listens to country music, so never mind. We find out that Alex is the freelance stripper and is Zoe's dad.
Zoe is the interpreter. Do you think she has another job?
No, I don't. Because I think she's kind of fragile. I think she's...
Now, I think we
working her way into working in general.
I think we see Zoe again, but really up until the point where her father confesses to the killing, and even a little bit further than that, I thought Zoe was the killer. Because she acts nervous and suspicious.
Well, that's so red herring, though.
Yeah.
I love that Nikki is so stereotyped, but then lives up to the stereotype at every opportunity. Like,
yes.
I have to go. My aunt's in the hospital. Okay, you don't have an... Oh, never mind. She's gone.
Yep.
Oh, and she's got the dead woman's credit card and she's off buying stuff with it. What? She's not that stupid, is she? I mean, come on.
She obviously lost the golf course and the house and half the town because remember, her family owned it all.
She should be incredibly wealthy.
But no, she's living with Frodo's girlfriend.
He's not my
girlfriend.
We should just have a sound clip that we just hotkey on the board to play. Frodo's not my boyfriend. Certainly, nobody's going to believe that she hooked up with Marcus.
No. Why does he even say that? It doesn't give him anything at all, not an alibi or anything like that.
I think he's such a jerk face.
Now, her going out the window and having psychotic, psychedelic...
To go off and look for glowworms? Yeah, that's totally Nikki.
I totally expect Nikki to do.
I think he's so self-delusional, he thought people would believe it. And he thinks so little of her that he thinks people will believe it. Well, she's skanky anyway, so, you know, which he basically says.
Mrs. M shows up and discusses the language of flowers. And then leaves.
She quotes Hamlet and leaves. And then we find out Frodo's got yet another new job.
Yes. He's running. Finally, Frodo is selling coffee.
Not at his own coffee truck yet.
No, it's Ricardo's coffee truck.
But what jobs has he had? He's been a landscape guy.
Yep. He ran the ice cream place.
The hot dog truck.
Somebody suggested that we ate too many Frodo dogs. And that's why.
That's how we got sick. Looking at a Frodo dog almost made me sick.
Yeah.
He's worked at the auto body car shop.
The car shop.
That's 5 jobs.
Yeah.
Has he had any other jobs? What job did he have in the bachelor party episode? When the first one where the guy got shot.
Oh, he's working at the...
That's the car shop.
He works at 2 different car shops.
Yeah. What's he going to be next time?
I think it's coffee from now on. He's not in the next episode.
They go to the hospital because there's a victim in the hospital and the surgeon comes in and pulls his mask down and it's Frodo. Frodo's discount surgery.
Frodo's psychiatry, physiotherapy, and stripping. No, Frodo!
No, Frodo!
No.
That's one job Frodo cannot have. Frodo's discount animal husbandry and breeding. No.
I'm here to collect the samples.
No, Frodo, get out of here.
Would you like me to dance while I'm here?
That's how he gets it. He woos the animal by dancing.
Frodo, animal stripper.
And biological sample collection.
Wow. We have gone off the rails, and that woman is certainly not that person's girlfriend.
I'm I'm going to give you a note that says to meet me at the wharf.
Wharf.
It's a dock.
It's a dock.
Why call it a wharf? Kristen reveals that she's tricky.
Yes.
Because she's willing to lie.
About
but
being
not really.
a florist.
I don't know what the rest of that conversation was supposed to be, right? The idea is that she gets the hospital to tell her whether Auntie Ruth or whatever her name is in the hospital, right? But she doesn't know her name.
Yeah.
So she's going to call and say, I've got a delivery for somebody whose first name is Ruth or Ann or Renee or whatever her name is.
Maybe.
And they're going to give her the last name and the room number. I don't.
Well, if it's a cop and they answer the phone, they just shout, no, no, no into the phone. But if it's a florist, let me look up that information for
If it's a cop, they say, I'm sorry, we can't give you any patient information. But if it's a florist, they say, yeah, Aunt Renee, who had bypass surgery and is doing very well and is type O, is in room 212 and is right now wearing a red hospital gown. I'm like, yeah, they'll just give you everything. I find it fun that they call her the florist of Brokenwood.
Yes.
Which sounds like an assassin's name or something.
Yes.
Which means Gina would be like the borscht chef of Brokenwood.
Mike is the
line dancer of Brokenwood.
Or the rodeo clown of Brokenwood.
Yeah.
We see Mike in his underwear here.
I didn't need that.
I guess.
I mean, he broke his leg many years ago, and Alex has to...
No, he didn't. It was like 3 episodes ago.
And Alex has to twist it.
Yeah.
You're right. That's in the non-rear window episode.
Yes. So also we find out that Fee has a ticket, and the ticket is weird for 2 reasons. One, she's decided to fly out on my birthday. So my birthday is listed as the time in which she's flying out to the United States.
And a one person flight. She's not going with Scotty.
But weirder is she's flying Air Brokenwood.
I think Frodo owns that too. It's a pedal plane.
I'll be your captain. I'm Frodo.
Captain
Welcome to Frodo Air. No wonder that woman jumped out of that plane. And then he just goes, oh, well, she was going to the States. And they go, okay.
Because she was going to continue her career and he just had to accept it.
What?
All right.
Then why is she getting married?
Well,
never
she's
mind
not.
The fact that Chantel's like, I have a baby.
Chantel works at the Kiwiland tea room.
Which is fantastic.
If it's not a real tea room, it's the best dressed set I've ever seen. The
have-
chalkboard alone is fantastic.
Chalkboards and food out and other customers and tables and menus. I looked for that. I looked in the credits to see if they thanked a shop or something.
A restaurant of some sort.
None of that.
Well, so here's a challenge to you listeners. On the chalkboard, the menu board at the Kiwiland tea room is an item called a filthy burger. Philthy. Filthy.
Maybe it's like a Philadelphia sandwich, like a Philly cheesesteak burger. Maybe?
Then call it a cheesesteak burger. Why would anybody in New Zealand get that reference? Get that PHIL reference?
Idea.
What is a filthy burger? It's not real. It doesn't exist. We Googled it. We couldn't find an answer.
No.
What do you think a filthy burger is? Is it made of meat from Phil? Guy's named Phil? I don't know. We tried to guess. You guess.
Yes.
Tell us what you think a filthy burger is. If I said you got to make a filthy burger, PHIL, filthy burger, what would be on it?
The other thing I learned from this episode, on careful examination, I learned that anyone who plays tennis for any amount of time, especially with one of those ball machines, gets frustrated and angry. No one is having fun playing tennis at this tennis.
I hate tennis.
It's just, it looks to be like, it's like golf. Anyone who plays golf in any of these shows hates playing golf.
They get frustrated and break a club every time.
If it frustrates you so much. I remember when I was playing golf on a regular basis, and if I hit the ball and it didn't go where I wanted it to, I just dropped another ball and hit it again. I didn't care.
No.
It was a day out that I enjoyed being outside.
Well, you weren't playing $1,000 rounds of tennis.
Why is he playing the champion that well? He needs money. What is he?
If he needs money, that's not a good way to win it.
Not a good way to win money.
I mean, challenge Peter to a game of tennis, like not the club champion.
He's also quite an alcoholic.
Well, you made me stay in a hotel with a bar.
Yeah.
Did we make you drink?
Yeah.
Marcus, you're a loser in every way. We're beating that dead horse. It's dead.
Speaking of dead horses.
Maybe that's what a filthy burger. Philly. It's a horse burger.
It's a horse burger. Well, actually.
They do have horse meat in New Zealand,
do
don't
have
they?
horse meat in New Zealand.
We might have just solved it. But that's not how you spell Philly, is it?
No.
Like a horse? That's with an F.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Now I'm worried.
I do know that speaking of
It's a dirty horse burger.
Speaking of beating a dead horse, Scott is like, look at my bloody hand.
I punched Marcus in his squishy nose.
Look at it. It's bloody. My hand.
I busted my knuckles.
It's not the best, most natural acting.
No. Poor Zoe. She's fragile.
Yes.
She really is fragile.
As I completely understand.
Her mom left when she was little, which apparently upset her a lot.
Drove her dad into stripping. He went right to the pole.
She's struggled with bulimia and anxiety and depression, and she's clearly making big efforts to get her life together.
Yep.
She's so nervous to be coming to do this translator job, but wants to do a good job at it.
And she also knows Darren isn't telling everything.
And for good reason, she hates Ophelia with a white-hot passion.
Oh my gosh. I would want to take a poker and put it into Ophelia's head if she said that.
She says, Zoe Fuller full of fat. I would have she was on a crutch. I would have just choked her out.
This is why I thought she was the killer.
Yeah, because she would have been justified.
By the way, Nigel brings Thai food and Kristen leaves.
Because she's tired of their Thai food. She's tired of their fatty mamas.
Yeah. The other winner of this episode is Brokenwood Real Estate. They're cleaning up. They're selling everything.
They're selling Fee's dad's house.
And the hotel.
The TVT.
Yep.
I think Scotty's kind of brave. Now, he's drunk.
Yes.
But he's sort of brave to go to the hotel where they're having the bachelorette party to tell Fee that Chantel is pregnant with his baby.
And it's actually...
I think I would have waited until the next day when everybody was sober.
But it is good writing when she says, do you want the baby or do you want me? And he says, I want both.
Both.
I can be a dad and be your husband.
Because he didn't cheat on her.
He didn't cheat on... And everyone admits that.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything wrong. And I don't know why Chantel likes him so much.
I don't either.
He's not all that likable. Though he does look a lot like Jack Whitehall.
Yes.
If you don't know who Jack Whitehall is, he's a British comedian. And he looks so much like him.
He does, but he's so milquetoast. He just doesn't do this or that or...
No.
Meanwhile, Darren's in the other side of the room going, can I leave now, please?
This is maximum awkward. Even being deaf isn't helping me stay out of this awkward conversation.
Nikki in the hallway going, glowworms!
Yeah. I saw fairies. I have a credit card. I am not going to sleep with Marcus. They're taking all these handwriting samples because they have the note.
Yes.
The 2 a.m. note.
Yes.
And they make a big deal out of Alex writing in all caps. And I was like, I write in all caps. Am I the killer?
Did you kill her?
Did I do it?
Did you use Lederhosen?
Yes.
Ah.
You got me. No, it was Alex the stripper physio killer dad.
There's only one way into this place. There's never any one way into any place.
There's a road.
Yeah.
There's a boat.
Yeah.
There's a path.
Yeah.
There's parachuting.
Just to name a few. There's a fence that you could climb over.
No, there's only one way. Except the 2 ways.
Well, wait a minute. So the dad is interviewed, and as well as admitting to becoming a stripper, he admits that maybe he made a mistake.
That he garroted Fee with her own ugly bridal purse.
Okay, so let's talk about the purse. Because I have a problem.
And why is she carrying a purse in the hotel where she's staying?
I do not know. Now, I realize that I'm a bit different. When I stop anywhere, I place my wallet, my keys, and my phone in specific areas so I know where they are. But I don't like sitting around with those things in my pockets. Okay? So I understand that I'm a little different. But if I'm the bride-to-be at my hen party, I can imagine these things. There's only 8 of us in the hen party, plus the stripper and the middle-aged bartender.
And Peter.
Purposeless Peter.
Bobert.
I would have left it in my room.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I go back to my room because we've hen partied it up. We ate the worm. Now my boyfriend has to come over and say he's impregnated another lady while his friend sits awkwardly on the bed. She has her
Purse on the whole time.
On the entire time. Why?
There's a couple of things you don't know because you're a man.
Okay.
Number 1, wedding dresses and most women's clothing don't have appropriate pockets.
I understand that she doesn't have pockets.
Where's she going to put her phone? You're not going to leave your phone in your room.
You might hold on to it.
No.
You could put it in your bra.
No.
Put your bra on.
Pause. If you have not watched the music video for a song called Brenda, Put Your Bra On, go do it right now.
I'll put it in the show notes. It is a fantastic
It's
look.
an earworm. I've warned you.
Yep.
It will get in your head and you'll never get it out.
It's country, too.
It's epic.
Yep.
I love it. Anyway, no, you can't put your phone in your bra because you know what else?
What?
You can't wear a bra with most wedding gowns.
I get that. I get that.
All right. So now you've got like some kind of wackety corset thing on, or like if you're not big endowed, you got like tape on your tatas or whatever, and you're going to shove a phone in there. It's going to work its way down into the waist of your dress, fall out the bottom. Why they don't put pockets in anything, I don't know.
Why is she in her dress?
It's a thing that they're doing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
They're all wearing tacky dresses. This is not her real wedding dress. It's a tacky dress that she bought at the secondhand store.
Okay. So that's why they don't freak out. Like Darren doesn't go, why are you seeing her in her wedding dress?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. So there's that. That's
Yes.
one reason why. 2, the bridal industry is a manipulative industry
Okay.
to the point where they don't even size wedding dresses in the same way they size regular women's clothes.
I didn't know that.
And they try to make you buy all kinds of useless crap because it's your special day,
Yes.
right? Including ugly ass purses that you're supposed to carry to keep your stuff in.
Okay.
They could easily just put a pocket in the big frou-frou dress, but no, you got to buy an ugly purse.
Okay, but you do the worm and you're drunk and you come back to your room before your boyfriend
The first
comes
thing you
over.
do is get that thing off and set it down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But she's really drunk, so maybe she's forgotten that she has it on.
But then she stomps off with it.
She does. But it's got her phone in it.
Okay.
And her athletic tape and her lipstick.
Okay, I'm going to say that this is
I agree with you
a
completely.
bit sus.
I agree with you completely.
But not as sus as, I accidentally wrapped it around your neck and choked you out with it.
Yes. I don't believe for a second that the thing would be made well enough that the strap would be strong enough to actually strangle somebody.
I'm sure that was made of plastic, not actual metal.
And I'm really disappointed in Gina that she thought that the strangulation marks from a pearly, twisted, beaded handle could be lederhosen.
Yes.
Those are completely different. Unless Gina's got a pair of lederhosen at home that are like bejeweled.
Maybe. Like those coats that they wear the pearl buttons on.
Yeah, in England.
Maybe it was like that.
Maybe she's got bejeweled lederhosen. Maybe that's her thing. She's into it.
But Fee comes into her own.
If she does, she's definitely going to find out where Mike's line dancing class is and wear them to the line dancing class.
She is indeed. Fee is a bully. Fee is a horrible human being. Fee's flying on Frodo's airline. But boy, is she a good dead body.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic. In that dress, in the water.
She just floats away.
Yep.
Out to Captain Cook.
I love how, okay.
And I guess nobody ran into Alex the stripper wet.
No. And they also are very purposeful in saying it's a river. Because if it wasn't a river, the waves would have pushed her back into the water.
Yeah.
Right. Instead, he gives her a little push and then like attaches a small outboard engine and she goes.
She drifts off. Well, Tull's very floaty because it's mostly plastic.
I
the
guess.
whole skirt is basically plastic netting, more or less. So it might be kind of like, like flotsam and jetsam kind of trash is floaty. It would kind of act the same way. But she gets quite a distance. She's out in the open water by the time Captain Cook finds her.
Again, is she in the ocean? Is she not in the ocean? Is Captain Cook in the river?
Okay, in New Zealand, I bet all rivers lead to the ocean.
All rivers always lead to the ocean.
They could lead to a Great Lake.
That's true. But that Great Lake then leads to an ocean.
Okay, but that's a lot of distance.
Yeah, I guess.
You're out there with the freighters at that point.
Isn't it about time that we had a Mentos commercial?
Let's play tennis.
Fresh and fun Mentos tennis commercial. Oh, this is mixed doubles. Oh, yes, it is. Like the whole thing should end with them doing freeze frames.
High fives. Hey, up high. I love that Breen gets to be referee. He's having the most fun.
Yeah.
And Gina's like, I've wanted to do this since I was a little girl. Thank you.
And
she's not a tennis player. She may have dreamed about it as a child, but that's not her thing now. And yet she's got the gear.
Yeah.
Fully coordinated outfit, ready to go.
Totally coordinated.
And Mike, who could barely walk 20 minutes ago, is now ready to play.
Yeah. And was junior and senior boys champion.
Yeah.
But they do that like
it's fun.
So there's a scene in Ted Lasso in which Ted shows proficiency in something that people don't think he would be proficient in. It's a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
He does it in a really great way. It's spectacular. That is not what happens here. Mike just goes, bonk. Oh, I was junior and senior boys champ.
Yes. And I'm still just as fit as I was then. Not.
And Bree goes, 15 love.
It's all right. Gina's just going to fly around on their side of the court and volley every ball back anyway. It's a fun episode. The people who are not likable are really unlikable. There's no ambiguity,
Yeah.
So after the credits, are Scotty and Chantal going to get together?
They're certainly okay.
They're at least going to co-parent, don't you think?
As we know intimately, when you have children with someone, that person is in your life forever.
Especially if you live in a small town and neither of you leaves.
So I would hope that Scotty and Chantal formed a positive relationship. Is it romantic? I don't know, but certainly positive.
Is Darren going to ask Zoe out?
I
or
hope
is Zoe so screwed up because her dad's a killer that there's no hope?
My dad was a killer stripper should be the headline. Killer stripper head physio.
Well, and killed somebody basically for me.
Yeah, Zoe's gonna have some
really
rough
damaging.
days. She's gonna have some rough days.
And now she's on her own.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have her dad to lean on.
Well, hopefully Darren gives her some comfort. He doesn't have to be romantic. It could be friend-wise comfort.
Yeah.
But she obviously needs somebody to listen and validate her feelings. Because, wow.
Is Nikki going to jail for credit card
She
fraud?
should be.
Yeah,
we don't
she should.
see Nikki again, so maybe she goes to jail.
Maybe she's like, now I'll use all my money. Get myself a lawyer. I just couldn't think of a way to use those millions. But now I can think of something.
Yes.
Kim's going to go off not being Frodo's girlfriend.
Yes.
And the other four are off to another bachelorette party.
I guess.
Another nameless bachelorette. That is bride not to be.
I like that they didn't weigh into the Hamlet thing. I like that. It doesn't need to have Petey. Petey needs to not be there.
Peter, purposeless Peter.
I would say the entire tennis thing needs not to be there. And I would also say there's no reason he's a stripper. Because he leaves and comes back. He could just go over there because Zoe admitted to him what she said.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm going to go over there and teach her a lesson.
Yeah. He could have known that Zoe was Ophelia was in town without being the stripper for her bachelorette party. What would have been great is if in the middle of his dance, knowing that she was who she was and that he hated her, he like just choked her out in front of everybody. Part of his dance.
It's a weird stripper.
It's my special move. I'm gonna strangle her with my thighs.
I don't want to put anything in his belly. It's a weird stripper.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the other 4.
I need tequila. The other 4 left because they were like, it's a middle-aged stripper.
And creepy Marcus lives here and he's prowling around.
Yeah.
And then there's purposeless Peter in the dark.
Plus there's a wolf.
A wolf?
A wharf.
Oh, a wharf.
Wharf.
It could be an earf.
Earf.
And then there's Roger. Mysterious Roger. Could be room.
Why is Frodo not the stripper? Why is Frodo not the stripper? Because that would have been commie gold. Or why isn't Nigel the stripper?
Kahu.
Yes.
Kahu could have been the stripper.
I think this is the last time
people would pay to see Kahu strip.
I think this is the last time we see him.
Oh, poor Sims. Just when she was playing tennis.
Yep.
And chess.
Yep.
Well, that's Bride not to be, or to be, or not to be. Not to be.
And then they touch on it, but they don't go into it.
Nope.
It's good. It's good.
All right. Until next time. Bye, Boberts.
Bye, Maniacs. Say it.
I did. I said bye, Bobert.
No.
Bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs.
You're going to edit out all my Boberts.